Shalom, salama, siemi, shalom. Oh, peace and blessings, Israel. Oh, man. So, peace and blessings, Israel, to all my folks that are of the bloodline, or you are grafted in to the house under the blood of Yeshua HaMashiach, to where you are no longer just sitting on out there, but you are coming together, that the natural and the wild are being brought together. Hallelujah. Oh, so family, I ran behind a few minutes late because I was rushing around trying to get some stuff done. And I said, okay, shalom, salama, siemi family. I said, I'll give you all some time. And the next thing I know, I'm looking at this because I try to monitor on two different things to see how things work. Because it's just me. I'm a one-man studio. Okay, this is Covenant Awakenings production. You know what I'm saying? And I'm Suge Knight, Puff Daddy. I'm the artist. I perform and I dance. West Coast of Florida. That's right, Tampa Bay, baby. And then I looked, I said, there's nobody really chatting. Like usually people come on in here, and I said, oh man, these folks done looked at everything. Nobody done got their superpowers. I said, people probably done thought that this was like Heaven's Gate. tried to drink some crazy Kool-Aid, that none of the stuff that people done said in this community. They done got themselves the virus vaccine. They done put themselves on out of commission. Oh man, I said, oh Lord. I said, but now that I finally looked, and I did my countdown, but I didn't put it on live. And I said, oh, that's okay. Here we go. So I'm kind of looking all strange, like, huh? Yeah, because so let me kind of get this started on out for you all. And before I do, this is what I like to do. I like to tell Donna Hall, Leah, Arnold Johnson, Marquand Marvell, Daryl, or Donnell Blackshore, Second Exodus, Ninja Firewolf, Rochelle, Yah's daughter, Carrington Smith, Ms. Beast, Ashley Just Souls, Kimberly Johnson, Ross Talley, Abba Yah's daughter, Mr. Nate Nice, Jennifer Bassett, Melinda, 1973. Up next, and Larry's Carnell daughter, Candace Love, Yakanoon Bell, and soulfully sowing seed shalom. So thank you all for coming on in here. Yeah, so I was, because I thought I had some so there's some funny stuff going on with StreamYard. And when I do StreamYard, I have to do things a little different. It's not an easy setup now, because for some odd reason, they're saying that they have issues with uploading thumbnails to the videos. And I like to give the thumbnails as a graphic representation of what I'm about to talk about, because they always say a picture's worth 1,000 words. And I know that right now we are seeing some things that we've never quite seen, and we're doing some things that we never quite aligned to, and yeah. So I'm gonna address this. Yeah, up next. But you understand, that's kind of the funny thing that we always think. I never said that we're going to get superpowers. I never said that, things are just going to go crazy right at that time. But I did say, listen, the Most High, he always does mark his calendars because he always shows that it's a season, that it's a season. Look, in this season, we were saying, look, a lot of things are going to happen. In this season, we're actually seeing the Most High is answering a lot of our prayers. He's not answering our prayers the way that we want him to, but he's answering the prayers the way that we need him to. Because you have to understand, a lot of this, even though, yes, I want to be up on out of here, it's not my decision because that decision's at management. So shalom, Sean, beloved of the Most High, Kenneth Wilkinson, and Brother G, Gabriel Aluya. So I was thinking about that. I said, Father, I said, you know my situation. My situation's dire. I'm hurting. You know, this is that. And you know, the funny thing is, the Most High saying, listen, he knows. We're all hurting. We're all trained for this. Because the reason that we are able to endure is because we've literally had generations upon generations upon generations that have trained us for this outcome. And so it was interesting because I was wondering, I said, well, I was going to take another day off. I said, Father, I said, you ran me ragged last week. You had a lot of good messages go pouring through me. And I kind of just, last night, I was actually I was tired, but I was tired in terms of not tired, but like fatigue. And I know when people, when you start to get emotionally tired, you kind of are like wondering, you know, like what is keeping me down? It's like, is it my diet? You know, what's happening to me? And see, you have to understand, see, in this time frame, look, we're gonna be faint and weary, but we're gonna continue to stand because we won't grow faint and we won't grow weary. That's Isaiah 53. He's going to see us through this time because this time is a time of refinement. Here's the perfect setup and situation for this. You understand that our ancestors knew that they were going to eventually get out of chattel slavery. They knew this. They understood we're going to eventually get on out of chattel slavery. But what they continued to do, they continued to have a hope and an idea that, see, we understand how the Most High is moving. And then guess what you start hearing? Guess what they were starting to hear? The rumbles. Oh, well, this happened. Oh, well, that happened. Oh, well, this happened. Okay, yeah, it's not going to take long. But you understand, then it takes longer and longer because it's like, okay, I wanted it to happen, not today. I wanted it to happen yesterday. I needed my bills paid yesterday because my lights are shut off today. You know, those are the things that we look at, and it's like we look at that in the natural, and thank the Lord that I have my bills and everything caught up, and thank the Lord that I have things moving. But this is where we're sitting at as a people, because I have to tell you all, folks, that this is where we're on at. Let me just do a couple more shout outs. Shout out to beloved of the Most High, Yahya 144, LNF. You know, and this, if I try to greet you all as you come on in here, and you know, for what I try to do, I try to not mess up the flow, because I'm telling you, I have a lot of ideas. When the Most High puts something in me, it's like, ooh. Well, Father, how do you want me to explain this? Lord, how do you want me to explain this? Lord, how do you want me to explain this? and so when we see things happening, we don't even understand when a miracle actually occurs. Let me tell you this. We don't even understand when a miracle occurs and who was there to witness that miracle. Come on now, let me explain this thing to you. Did the whole world see Jesus at his birth? Did the whole world see the Magi, the wise men of the East, present the gifts? Did the whole world see at that moment? They had Edomian iPhones. Get it? iPhones, Edomian phones. I know, kind of corny. I'm working on my material, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Once I get my sound man, I can get that little dum. But you have to understand, when you put everything in the context of what you're seeing with the word, not everybody saw the miracle. Not everybody even knew about the miracle. Because what happened? People knew about the miracle when? Literally after Christ had died. And guess what? They were still, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. No, I don't know. Are you sure? No. Are you sure that we're going through this judgment because we've hit 400 years? Are you sure that these things are happening because y'all are the people? Well, let me tell you this on the Edomian rock, the daily inscription. I didn't see that printed out on the papyrus. The news didn't tell me this. The news media didn't say that. I don't know what you black folks are saying. That doesn't make any sense. And so you're fine, Ernest Higgs, shalom. Yarek Mills, shalom. And Marquand Allen, shalom. No, you're fine. We're just getting on in here. And see, no, you're right. See, the planets aligning, that shows a sign and a wonder. But sometimes you may see something that they can't interpret. And so shout out to Brother Josh of Hebrew Nation Building, because he had said something very profound. He said this, I believe it was either last week or the week before, but he said this. He said, sometimes you may not even know your dad, but you may have the same mannerisms as him. And we may do the same mannerisms and perform in the same manner or likeness without even knowing it. Shalom, Disciple Way, and shalom, Susan Gibney. I'm grateful you all can attend. Hallelujah. So when I heard that, sometimes I said, I'll just be like, oh yeah, that's pretty prophetic, man. That's really good. That's a word. Cause my spirit man will take that word, kind of get it like a sheet of paper, fold it on up and just kind of deposit it in the spiritual file drawer, It's like, okay, I click save on that. And then you don't even understand that when that really happens, that documented file comes back to mind, and it's like, oh wow, I see that. Yeah, I understand it. And this is how it's applicable to me. Because I'm telling you, family, we're not just preaching on out here. We're not just teaching on out here. We're not just coming together on out here talking just to talk. We're actually on out here conversing because now we're living the word. I used to go to church and I'm like, okay, how do I live the word? Well, you pray. Okay, well, how do I pray? Well, you got to do this. Well, I speak in tongues. How to speak in tongues? Well, you got to do that. And you have to understand, like when you let that thing rip and you're speaking in tongues and you're speaking in that spiritual language, it seems weird at first. It's like, okay, Father, you got the Holy Spirit. Okay, my stomach, I got this, I feel it, pumping up. And then it's like, you're just rambling, and it feels like you're just rambling nonsense. It's like, am I even speaking a language? What language is this? What am I even talking about? How am I even, what is this? It's like, and that's what you feel like. Okay, it feels like I'm talking like a 3-year-old, like a toddler, like a 1-year-old. But then you understand, look, it's you trying to figure things on out. And that's the setup. God has already gotten what you're saying, and you don't understand it. So that is the spiritual conflict that you're having with your physical. Because the spiritual things don't have an understanding with the physical or with the natural. And so the funny thing is, when I was doing that last week and the week before, and I've just been on it and on it, a lot of things were happening. A lot of doors were happening. And, a lot of the doors we always ask for, well, I need provision. I need this. I need that. And the Most High is like, I got you. Don't worry about it. But then when you get that need met, it's like, okay, well, Lord, well, I'm still in need. And the Most High is like, look, you're going to always be in need. There will never be a time where you aren't in need. Because that's how I designed the system. You need me to breathe. You need me to live. You need me to drink water. You need me to walk. You need me to talk. You need me to have an understanding. And so when I was thinking about that, I said, yeah, you're right. We haven't had a basic understanding of what's going on, because you have to remember our understanding has been left in spiritual ruins. And see, even though the body was still present, the soul had left. And the funny thing is, aren't we seeing that? Aren't we seeing that? And that's what we're afraid of with these vaccines. Hey, you know what? There's going to be demonic possession. You take that thing, you're going to open up yourself to Lucifer with Luciferus, and all these things that we have been told and we have been have reported or has been purported to us. But then you look at all the stuff that they say that it's going to do in this vaccine, and then you realize everything that vaccine is supposed to be doing has been done to us as a people, because we were literally a soulless, spiritless entity. We may have had a soul and a spirit, but we weren't all the way there. We were literally zombies. We were literally just the Walking Dead. And they would kind of laugh and see us because we understood. Actually, we never understood. They understood. We were just a Walking Dead, because you want to know why? If a people doesn't know who they are, if they don't have their identity, if they don't have even where they came from or how they derive from, then guess what? You are just spiritless, because your spirit really determines your identity. And I was thinking about that, and it was funny because because I was talking to some of my family members, and I was talking to them about how things were happening. And you got to remember, see, in this time, this is a time of revealing. See, we don't understand. Not only is the Most High revealing things to them, but He's revealing things to us. And you have to understand how you have to listen to what's being said to you. You have to listen and understand it. You have to digest it. And so it was funny. I was talking to my aunt about a couple things because she has been taking care of my dad because he had been in the hospital when he was dealing with his health stuff. And now he's made a dramatic recovery. But again, even though he's made a dramatic recovery, there are still some things that are that continued spiritual thorn. And see, I couldn't really go to sleep last night because I kept thinking about that. And so this morning I spoke to my dad. He called me early in the morning, and then I was kind of we're in a talk. We're speaking about a few things. And everybody presents their good side, and they leave their garbage at home, you know. And I understand, that was kind of the talk that my aunt and I had. But what it really made me understand is, look, we have to understand why we were in this predicament to begin with. And I had to think about this. I said, wow, I see, Father. I understand. See, a lot of the same mannerisms that I had and that I have came from my dad. And I only lived with my dad up until like the age of 5. But a lot of the stuff, it carried on over because it was and had continued to be a generational curse. And so, it's not that our family didn't know how to get on out there and make a hard day's labor or wage. No, we would do that. No problem. But our family, we had a systemic failure in being able to manage money wisely. And it wasn't because we were just on out here doing drugs or doing all this other craziness. But what we would do is that we would be too charitable. And as I was listening to my aunt and I listened to my dad, I said, yeah, you understand what happens in the Black community? It was funny because I just I said, Lord, I know you give me little nuggets to kind of see how that goes in the later on. You'll put it into perspective. But what I saw was that we operate on extremes. We operate on extremes. And even Solomon said, look, you have to be wise in your decision and in your understanding. And if you don't have wisdom, who do you first seek? You first seek the Most High. And it's not to say that we don't think that we're wise in our own understanding. No, we are wise in our own understanding. But sometimes you have to be spiritually wise. And so when I was thinking about Gehazi and stuff like that, and I forget his name. Somebody can help me on that. But the general that came down from Damascus, he was under Tiglath-Pileser when they invaded the kingdom of Israel. Well, years earlier, he had come down and he got bathed in the Jordan. And when he got bathed in the Jordan, 7 times, he didn't really like what Jeremiah had said, because he said, look, I could go up to Damascus. I could be over near these type of rivers here. Look, I got the Yarmuk and all these other rivers here. That's cleaner. That's better. Why do I need to do this? He said, look, do you want a miracle? Do you want your skin? Yeah, Naaman, thank you. Do you want your clean or your skin cleansed? Well, get in that dirty behind water. Dip 7 times. And then on that 7th time, look, your skin's going to be restored. And guess what happened? That's what happened. His skin was restored. And so the interesting story was, Naaman wanted to give Elijah an offering. And Elijah said, no, keep your money. No, because I understand what you're getting ready to do. Keep your money. And see, in the flip side of the house, we can be wanting to give, but we may not understand the Most High may not want you to give at that time or at that moment. Because see, when you are giving, you're literally giving for a purpose. See, when the people of Judah wanted Christ as their king, wanted Yeshua HaMashiach as their king, they wanted him to give them stuff. Feed my carnal, feed my flesh, feed my natural. But Christ said, nah, y'all ain't ready. No, y'all ain't ready. Because that's all you expect. I just want my needs met. Well, if that's the case, what type of relationship will you ever have with the Most High? Father, I thank you for you giving me my money, because this is a moment of time that every single day, every single hour, every single week, every single month, that bills come due, I don't have the money, and so I come to you and I say thank you, and then the heavenly bank of of Yahuwah opens up, and that deposit is made. Do you understand? And don't get me wrong, because I had that really convicted me too. I said, Father, I said, you're right. I said, that is how I treat you. Because up until about 2 weeks ago, that was it. Father, I need, Father. Instead of just saying, Father, in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, I come to you, Father, thanking you for what you have given me. Thanking you that I get a chance to talk to you. To just say, thank you, Father, I thank you that I was able to do this and I was able to do that. I thank you that I got online and I was talking to some folks during the live. I felt kind of dumb because some of my jokes were a little too much, but I think they knew what I mean. I said, but Father, I thank you because you have provided me to do things that you want me to do for you. And so I said, Father, I know that if I'm doing it for you, then guess what? It's a benefit for me. And in our culture, in our community, that's what we have been so unexposed to do. We haven't been exposed to do stuff like that. We've been exposed to say, God's going to meet your needs and that's it. What happens when you have another need? Well, God is going to meet your need. God is going to meet your need. And think about it. This is why, the televangelists and all these programs on CBN TBN and Daystar and whatever Christian programming is on out there. Come on, if you give right now, I'm going to pray for your needs. Okay. So people are like, yeah, we all have needs. Yes, the poor will always be amongst us. Does that mean that you are physically poor? You may be rich and wealthy, but you may not be spiritually wealthy. You may be at the spiritual bank every day, every hour. And it may not even be your fault. You may not even know what's happening or why that happens. But the problem that we have going on is that we're now starting to see there's a deficiency. And we have a deficiency because we have been defective spiritually. And when we understand our spiritual defectiveness, or defection, then we can start to understand how we got there and what we need to do to move forward. So it's funny, I spoke to my dad, and I spoke to my loved ones. And I was asking, I said, what I was doing, I didn't really understand what I was doing. And, for her, it was, well, you should have known better. You should have understood. And because she's a Gentile, I understand. Because this is how the conversation went. Let me just be honest with you. This is how the conversation went. I asked her, I said, I'm trying to reconcile everything. I'm trying to get all this stuff together because I would like us to move forward. And it's funny because when I send her some stuff, I'll send her some things about the vaccine and things of this nature. And so for whatever reason, see, you have to understand how they are thinking. And I'm not going to put on out there to try to make excuses for them, because I never do. But I understand the way she's coming about it is, well, that doesn't give you an excuse. You should have known better. And so the problem is, see, when I talk to her, I use that as a gauge. Because you have to understand, see, for white folks, it's, well, see, we've all been good since what? The 1960s. In 1960s, the white folks said, we've all been good since what? Since the 1940s. World War II. See, you got a chance to fight and die just like us. And in 1940s, we've all been good since when? Since we came out of slavery. And do you understand that benchmark and that model is something that they are comfortable with? Because you have to understand this. They live in comfort, and they can't understand when a discomfort is happening to the rest of the world. This is why I told you. I said, listen, America's going to get invaded. And when they do, they're not going to understand it. Mark my words. When they do, they're not going to understand it. Well, I don't know why they did that. I don't understand. I thought that's always the thing. Because remember, that's the same actions and that's the same attitudes that they have towards us. Well, I thought, and I wasn't even trying to argue. I just wanted to sit and listen to her rationale, because her rationale, especially in a white person's mind, it makes sense. Yeah, if I was listening to what white people are listening to, it totally makes sense. If I don't have any argument based off of any type of biblical perspectives, it makes total sense. Now, the problem that they have is that this world doesn't make sense to them anymore. Do you listen? Do you really understand? Come on, family. Do you understand me here? Listen, they don't even know. Look, they look at COVID like it's alien. They're looking at an alien life form that they don't even know what's happening. Pray, all right, woman of God. We will pray for that because our family's in need. I'm telling you, family, we're all in need. We have been under a spiritual deficit. But here's the thing: we've been under this spiritual deficit because there's a people that we've been under that really don't have that spiritual understanding. And because they never had a spiritual understanding, we've been trying to pick up the slack because we think that we're helping them on out. Okay, well, they really didn't mean that. I think they meant this. Okay, they didn't really, understand that. I think they understood this. Okay, and then you have to understand, no, we as a people, we've been trying too hard to defend their shortcomings. And I'm not saying that every white person has this, grand shortcoming that they can't be redeemed. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that we haven't been honest with ourselves when we are dealing in good faith. Yeah, they're going to get it. They're going to get it eventually. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And you know what? We've been starting to understand. Okay, we're just lying to ourselves. And now here's the thing. White people are now understanding this. Wow, we've been lying to ourselves. Shout out to brother Chris. He regularly sends me some stuff. He'll send me these little clips. It's like, look, the Gentiles are waking up. The Gentiles are getting this. Yeah, and you're right, Yakunu Bell. They have no choice because you got to remember. See, it was a feel good to say, well, guess what? It's your fault. This is the reason why it's your fault. You all should have known better. And it's like, no, see, that's not the case anymore. And yeah, you're right. But that's the truth. So they're doing their natural reactions because like I had said this. The Most High, when he moves, he doesn't move like us. He doesn't move like people. He's not. He's a people person because obviously he made people. But the way that he moves, he has to move against nations and nation groups. And you're not understand. And this is what I was thinking about this. I said the Most High is using enhanced interrogation techniques. He's torturing these folks. He's torturing these folks. Because you got to remember, see, they thought that they were happy in getting a vaccine. Now they don't even know if the vaccine even works. Okay, we're going to bring things back to normal. And do you understand, every single time they think that they're going to actually get back to their comfort zone, get back into their natural environment. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We're going to have this thing done next year, next month. Don't worry about this. Look, these black folks, oh man, don't worry about it. We're good. No, we're good. Trust me. No, they're not going to do anything. We're going to be right back on top. And they don't even know that every single day their world is literally declining. Imagine this. Like I said, every single day this month since Thanksgiving, they've literally had September 11th every single day. A September 11th event. Your people are just thinking the 300 and almost 20,000 probably surpassed it right now. But they're not understanding that those deaths affect at least 10 other people. And those 10 people are scared because they saw this one person die. They understood this person died. They saw how this person died. And I've been collecting these little articles. I'm not going to share it here. I may share it on Hebrew Sphere or with Teo. But I'm telling you, the other nations of this world, they're getting honest with this vaccine or this virus. They're getting honest with everything. They're looking at everything. There's an article, and I'll probably publish it either on Facebook or something else. It was a Thai medical that said, look, these super strains this virus is targeting a super gene. It's like 8 specific super genes that came from out of the Neanderthal that's in mainly white people. I said, wow, they're not going to publish that. That was in a Thai medical journal. So these folks understand, oh, this thing is actually targeting us. Oh, this thing is for real. And remember what we had said. This judgment's for them. They're not going to tell us right away it's for them. They're not going to make it known. For what? Oh yeah, we're all in trouble. No, they're not going to do that. Trump already knew that. He said, look, I wasn't going to tell people because I wasn't trying to panic them. And no, it's true. Second Exodus. I'll post the article on Hebrew Sphere. But that's what it was. I'll bring it up because I know people are going to ask, so I'm going to bring it up. Can I bring it up? Yeah, I didn't have that thing ready. Okay, bookmarks. COVID articles. So I didn't want to bring this on up because I didn't really I didn't vet it yet. That's the main reason. But I'll bring it on up just in case YouTube has something crazy. Let me share my screen real quick. So here it is. Breaking news. So this was from November 13th. So they know this stuff. They understand it. They sit on this. But it was published in Time Medical News. Supergenetic variants. So you have to understand a lot of these things that are said won't necessarily be mentioned They have it. This article, you can go on back here. I'll put that in Hebrew Sphere. If you have HebrewSphere.com, you'll see that article. I'll comment after this video. But that's where we're at. That's where we're at. And see, you got to remember, a lot of these things won't be disclosed right away, but you have to be, you have to be smart enough to see, okay, well, they'll throw these articles up here, they'll throw this something up there, well, nobody's going to catch it. Nobody's going to catch it. And they think, look, well, they'll publish it, but guess what? Black folks aren't going to catch it. Are you kidding me? Black folks are now internet detectives. Dante just needs to register Hebrew Sphere as an internet detective school certification. Become internet detective savvy. BlackInternetDetective.com. HebrewSphere.com. Because black folks be going in. And we find things that you would never have even known existed. Because that's what we do. We dig things up. We don't look at face value. And when I was having my conversation, it was all about, well, I don't believe this or I don't believe that. It's like, okay, I don't care what you believe. You don't have to believe it. I'm just telling you what the information is. You can get mad, you can get, bewildered. You can do whatever you want. This is information. When Christ was preaching, I don't have to say, oh my goodness, Lord, this person didn't get saved today. No, I can't eat. I'm ruined. Oh, I can't do this. Look, okay, listen, you had your opportunity. Because why? Life is about choices. And so, it's fun. It's kind of funny because having this conversation, it was about, well, black people think that they're going to do the same thing that they did back, 100 years ago. And it's like, no, it's actually not 100 years ago. It's only like 40 years because the trial stopped in the 70s. So 50 now. And you still have had multiple trials still going on. Well, there's the black guy from the Trump administration. He took the vaccine. I said, do you understand this fool? Black folks are foolish because we will literally have folks that will sell out our own. That's how genocide works. You have one or two. Hey, here we go. And guess what they're going to have? They're not going to have the same vaccine. Trust me. Look, see, this is the same vaccine. Look. You made sure that thing is water, right? Yes, sir, it's water. That's a syringe, right? Yeah, this is a syringe. Let me see it. Okay, there's that. Sorry. Yeah. Sean Dion King. Yeah, Stone Brother. It is different from what we now have in England, which has 50 odd differences, which they say is very unusual. Well, see, I was listening to Lisa Cabrera's channel yesterday, and basically there's been over 4,000 mutations. So basically the mutation factor is at a factor of 12, which means it's astronomical. Because all that over 4,000 means is that it's just 2 to the power of 12. So we just say factor 12, which means that you now have to account for over 4,000 strains. All of them are deadly, and all of them are targeting this super genetic, the super gene. It's on out there. You can't make this stuff up because the stuff gets out there and they'll try to hide it in different publications throughout the world, but people are finding it. They're seeing it. Oh, this is interesting. This is different. Oh, this is referencing Yale. Oh, that's here. Why isn't that being published? This is what they try to say. Well, we did publish it. We published our findings. We published our studies. Where'd you publish it? Oh, we published it in the Mauritanian Times. Where'd you publish it? Oh, we published it in the Times of Papua New Guinea. But this is how they try to operate with us, because they've operated like this for so long. Trying to have that little bit of deceit and deception. Well, we told you. Where cool. When did you tell me, and where did you tell me? How did you convey that information? Oh, the same the usual. Well, what's the usual? We'll put it like in your little local newspapers that are only like serving like 2 or 3 cities. It's like the Tampa Gazette or like some other crazy thing. Off-brand newspaper. Well, we published it. It was published under the classifieds in the Boise Times. Listen, Ninja Firewolf, Michael Jordan, LeBron James doing that live next, they're going to try and find the best body doubles that they can. Oh. Yeah. Second Exodus. Yeah. Jews were black in a book that cost $15,000. $100,000 book. If you really want to know the truth, it's really going to cost you. No, seriously, it's going to cost you $150,000. It's going to cost you $15,000. Oh, and that's just a digital copy. What? Oh no, we published it. We published that sucker in Russian. Did you not see that in the North Korean Times? Right next to the 50 dissidents that were killed? Next to Kim Jong-un? Dunking on Rodman? Come on now. You should have seen that. It was right next to Kim Jong-un dunking on Rodman. Come on. They be having some crazy stories. Yes, our dictator is the best dictator in the world. He shoots arrows at 3 miles away. He slices down trees with one slice of the axe. He had swum through Incheon Bay when it was minus 40 degrees Celsius. Come on, it was a credible newspaper. That's where we published it. Pyongyang Times, come on. We told you, look, y'all try to accuse us of hiding information. We have to laugh, but this is how sad this is. It's sad. But that's the world that we've been operating in. Oh, no, all that stuff, it went away. No, you think they're going to try to do a genocide thing right here? Listen, if they know that their time is up, why not? It's called scorched earth tactics. Why not? I don't believe that they'll try to do that. Didn't they try to do that in the past? Weren't they trying to do that to black folks that were getting set free? Didn't we see that with Devil's Punch Bowl in Natchez, Mississippi? And it wasn't even the Confederates doing it. Come on. But you have to understand that's their delusion. And when they don't understand their delusion, they're really not understanding what's getting ready to happen to them next. Because you want to know why? Well, I don't believe it. What do you don't believe? I don't believe the Bible. Well, don't you see what the word says? I see it, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Aren't you fearful of God? Yeah, but that's not my God. That's going to come next. Yeah, but that's not my God. Don't you read the Bible? Yeah, I read the Bible, but that's not what my God says. Do you understand? That's literally what they've been saying to you. I believe the Bible, but I believe Baal of the Bible. I believe Dagon of the Bible. I believe Raphan of the Bible. I believe Meshach of the Bible. And all those other gods that we could do what? We can ravel and do ravelry and relish in whatever sin that we want. And you have to admit, listen, that's it. It's really the truth. Because that was the indictment. As soon as we woke up, they already knew it was over for them. Oh yeah, black folks don't woke up. Yeah, we have some folks talking silliness. We have some folks saying dumb stuff, trying to say, "Well, America's the promised land." But show me in the Bible, because it showed that we would be on out of here, and this place is going to be destroyed and left to what? As a ruin for what? As a haunt of demons. Do you want to be here in the haunt of demons? That's your promised land? Good luck to you. A land that's always on fire. What's always on fire? Something that's radioactive. So the Most High was even telling you about radiation in the Bible. How do they know about radiation? No, I don't believe it. America, in my Bible, America's Israel. In my Bible, America's the promised land. And then you tell them, hey, and this is what the Bible reads. This is what the Bible states. But they don't want to listen to it. So see, listen, I already told you, we're past that age that it's just destruction's on its way. You know, I laugh at the memes that brother Dante posts, you know, about Omar. You know, if y'all Wire fans, I'm a Wire fan. I love that show, The Wire. Omar coming, yo. What you doing, yo? Yeah, denial is guilty conscience being repressed. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, they're trying to say Utah is Judah. I know, but you got to understand this is a craziness because you got to remember they're going mad. They're literally going mad trying to figure out what's happening. Are you understanding this? They can't get it. And when you try to explain it to them, it's like, I'm done. No more talking. You know, I was telling people this. I said, listen, what was going on with the protest and all the other stuff back in June, that was there's a season. We have been hitting every single season. You had judgment, then you get revelation. Then you get judgment, and now you're gonna hit something else. Revelation, and then something else gets added to this. They're priming, man. They're priming. They're priming. Let me show you this. I'm not going to try and I didn't want to. I don't like to do these things because I don't like to get on to steal Teo's thunder. Because I even emailed this to him, and I don't like to steal his thunder. But look, this is Russia and Chinese bombers fly joint patrol over Pacific. Now look at this. Let me capture the date. Let me get a date capture. So you all can get it. See, 52 minutes ago. Let me refresh this so you all can see. This is today. Okay, so you're refreshing today. Today is December 22nd. Get these ads out of here. So here's the thing. Russian and Chinese bombers flew a joint patrol over the Western Pacific Tuesday. What's today? Tuesday. In a show of increasingly close military ties between Moscow and Beijing. Wait a second. There weren't supposed to be any ties. Man. First article really just summed it up on that one, didn't it? So this is the thing. Remember, it wasn't, oh, we just have to deal with China. We're not doing with this. We're not doing with that. But how come all of a sudden Russia did this? All of a sudden China's doing this? Look, I look at it like this. I believe Trump played himself. He's now between a rock and a hard place. He played himself. Man, I'm just gonna, be talking all big to China and be like, yeah, see, Russia, I'm talking all big to China. And then guess what? These folks are holding hands in hands, doing military drills. Who looks like the big dummy? I'm sorry, but think about this. Who looks like the big dummy? See, you got to understand, when we're walking in the footsteps of our ancestors and you don't know what happened with our ancestors, then guess what? You are doomed to repeat the same things. See, when I thought about that, and I had that knowledge, that revelatory knowledge that the Most High gave me, I said, "Thank you, Father," because I see, I'm getting it, I understand it. I said, "Thank you, Father." Nobody wants to really and truly understand how things move, but they're getting it. We're getting it, family. Listen, we're getting it. We may look absolutely crazy. No, Russia and China will never do that. They don't even like each other. Remember, we were getting this. Who says? Well, I say. Oh, man. Yeah, we're in trouble. Who says? But this is where we're at, family. This is how the nations are moving. This is how the nations have geared themselves and have aligned themselves. Yeah, we blame Russia's stealing. Yeah. Yeah, this is what has been said. But family, you got to remember everything that was here was to be an exposure for our benefit. It was literally to be an exposure for our benefit. So you could actually understand how things were moving, the way things were going. That's where we're at in this time frame. It looks crazy, it sounds crazy, it feels crazy, but you want to know what? God doesn't care about that. Because God's a God of spirit. How all of a sudden all this gets revealed right now? Remember, everybody's like, nah, China and Russia ain't gonna do that. China and Russia ain't gonna do that. Whoa. Wait a second. It makes a bit more sense now because remember last week, what did Russia say? Russia said that Israel was the biggest threat to the Middle East. China said that America was the biggest threat to world peace. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sounds like something's going on, doesn't it? And these are articles that they publish. So all these things that we're seeing, and we're crazy. This is where you have to understand this is how spiritual discernment works. And most of us, we understand this. We get it. Yeah, and you're right. America was only constructed to be our holding cell. You're absolutely right. But with that, family, I'm going to have to shut it on off. And I appreciate you all coming on over. I was only going to get an hour because I have to get some errands run. But family, just let's continue to pray for each other and hold each other up in this time. So family, with that said, shalom, salama siyemi, shalom. Peace and blessings, Israel.